Alright everybody, on this hike I'm up in the Bob Marshall Wilderness, coming in to see the Chinese wall. I started out here, benchmark trailhead, and I followed the CDT, which basically follows the South Fork of the Sun River. And then it hits the West Fork when you start heading towards the divide. Hiked into right about here my first night, ran into some rain, so I stopped early. My original plan was actually to camp right in here, but I camped here. It's about a little shy of 10 miles. The next day I hiked up the CDT and I ended up staying at Burnt Creek. Really cool campsite there. I stayed there instead of keep going on because there's no camping from Cliff Mountain. I call it Larch Hill in the video, but from Cliff Mountain until in here somewhere. I didn't go any north. I didn't go any north further. But anyway, so I camped there. The next day I finished hiking up, and then I got off on Moose Creek Trail. That was from camp to the trail was 4 miles. Then I hiked in about another 10.5 to right here, which is about 1.5 miles, 2 miles shy of the next trail split. The next morning I came up here, then took the Moose Furman. I thought it was only 4 miles, but Moose Furman goes all the way down to here. If you're going to take this, depending on what time of year, Glen Creek is where you're going to want to water up, because Freeze Out Creek I got water at, I barely got water. Furman Creek is like a dribble, and this is I was on this trail first week of August. Anywho, and then I camped here right after this trail split, where it goes from the Moose Furman Trail to the South Fork Sun Trail. The next day I just hiked out, came down past Pretty Prairie. Says there's an airstrip in there. I didn't see it. I mean, I guess you could land a plane there if you wanted to, but there was no actual strip. And then right here is where I crossed. Instead of going down and then back, I crossed here. And you're definitely going to want to do this in the dry season, because even now it was a little bit above knee deep at that crossing. Then we just hiked all the way out back to the trailhead. Before we get to the video, I'd like to kind of address Leave No Trace. I'm sure this has been beaten to death on videos, but you know, I'm no saint when it comes to Leave No Trace. I mean, this trip alone, not this trip, but this summer, I've lost a pair of glasses, 2 lens covers, 2 handkerchiefs. You know, that's what I know of. But on this hike, I found 3 single shoes from different pairs. They're usually like the ones that people do for stream crossings. I carried those out. I quit picking up trash after my second quart Ziploc bag. You know, I mean, if you're gonna eat a candy bar on the trail, put the wrapper in your pocket. You know, whatever. You know, when you leave camp, you know, go back, go through everything, go wherever you've been, see if you dropped anything. You know, I mean, these lands are ours. You know, they were the Native Americans before it. You know, and then if we want it to stay beautiful, we need to, you know, do our due diligence. You know, like I said, you know, mistakes happen. Like I've dropped things here and there, but you know, just kind of be aware what's going on and trying to keep our land as beautiful and pristine as possible. Well, anyway, I'll let you guys get to the video. That's my rant. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey everybody, we're up here in the Bob Marshall Wilderness. Up in Montana, just west of Augusta. Came in on Benchmark Road, stayed the night at a dispersed camping. I head into the Chinese wall. Not quite sure if I'm going to do a loop or if I'm just going to do an in and out. It's about 25 miles to the other end of the Chinese wall, about 20 miles to the Chinese wall, the base of it, from the southern end. Basically be on the CDT the whole way, unless I decide to make a loop. That is yet to be determined. Come into a burn area. Affords us some views. It's not too hot today, but it's extremely humid. We got a lot of, not a lot, but it rained quite a bit last night. So it's making it extremely humid. That's okay. You know, it's unfortunate forest fires, but they do bring new life. It's a necessary part of the forest. Down there is the South Fork of the Sun River. Alright, so I should be 4 or so miles in. We're going to start heading west. We're going to start going up this valley here. Eventually start heading north. Not today. So I got about 6 more miles to go, I think. So far the trail is pretty straightforward. Just kind of follow the valley. I think it stays that way until I start heading north, which should be tomorrow. Double check the map. Might get some rain. It's extremely beautiful up here. It's very tree-y, except for right here since we're still kind of in a burn. The forest is really thick in some places. So you don't get the views like you get some other places, but it's still very beautiful. Well, we just switched trails. We were on 202, which was South Fork of the Sun River trail. Now we're on 203. This is the West Fork of the Sun River. See what these clouds do. That's where we're heading. Down there. That right there. This is the Continental Divide. And once we hit that, we'll start heading north. So I didn't quite make it to my destination. Hiked about the last 2 miles in rain. It's not heavy rain, but decided to find camp. I found a nice little spot. Still ended up doing almost 10 miles, like 3/10 short of 10 miles today. So, see what the rain's gonna do. Glad I got my tarp and my hammock instead of a tent. It sucks hanging out in the rain in a tent, just sitting there. At least with my tarp I can get up and stand up and kind of walk around. It's got heavy enough tree cover in here. There's some dry spots too, where I can just hang out or whatever. Did bring a small book with me this time too. So, hang out, see what the rain's gonna do, and get back on the trail tomorrow morning. Well, I got packed up this morning and headed out. This was my destination yesterday. Down in there. There's some people camped there though. Horse riders that I came across a couple times yesterday playing leapfrog with. It is so smoky here. And up through here is where we're headed. There's no camping beneath the Chinese wall, so I have to cut short. I forget the mountain. I know they've got signs posted and stuff, so I'll hike in there and set up camp and hang out and figure out what I'm going to do from there. So this is what a lot of the trail looks like. Shrouded in all these trees, except for in the burn areas. Very different from what I'm used to, but like I said, none the same. It's still beautiful. Nice little scenic overlook here. It's the Continental Divide following. West Fork Sun River. So I got camp set up, hiked about 9 miles. I was gonna hike in further, but there's no camping here in about 1.5 to 2 miles, along with I think a 1,000-foot elevation gain, if I'm reading the map right. So I decided to stop here, camp here, just in case there was no camping spots I could find. So anywho, it's a pretty sweet little spot. Downfall is it's basically right off the trail here. But that's okay because it comes with an awesome perk. Show you here. Comes with my own personal shower. And as hot as it was today, I think I'm gonna go for a swim. Well, I got an early start this morning. About over this 1,000-foot climb. Start to see the Chinese wall. This is the easiest 1,000-foot climb I think I've ever done. Well, I just entered the camp enclosure area. Here's part of the Chinese wall. Now we start our descent. We got a little grousey grouse here, keeping me company. Anywho, I'm gonna head down. Well, I'm about halfway down. Figured I'd take some video here because I'm gonna drop down into this valley here, and then I'm gonna start heading east. I don't think I'm gonna get any better shots. It's so bad, it's so smoky. I mean, you can even smell it here. This goes on, the wall goes on, I think another 6 miles. My original plan, if I was going to do a loop, was go to the end of the wall, go over the divide, head south, and then come back over the divide. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Moose Creek Trail and head east to the North Fork of the Sun River, and then head back to the trailhead. Alright, so we've come to the junction of Moose Creek Trail, which is 131, and we're going to leave the CDT and the Chinese Wall Trail, start heading east. Today's going to be a long day. I've done 4 miles from camp, and want to at least make it to Alice Creek, which is like a little over 6 or 7. This trail itself is 12 miles to the next junction. I doubt I'll make it that far, but I'd like to at least make it in on this trail 10 miles. Alright, right there, I think that's what they call Larch Hill. And that little pass right there, if you can see it in the smoke, is where we came down through. Probably one last look at the wall. Make me a unscheduled stop here on a big patch of raspberries. Already eaten about a handful or so. There's a bunch back here. A bunch behind me. I'm not quite sure what these are. I think they're edible. I think pretty much any berry up here is edible, but I'll just stick with the raspberries. So I made it to camp. I ended up doing like 14 and a half miles today. It was super hot today too. But I got to camp. I was so hot and irritable, and I got camp set up, tarp and everything. It's back over here. I took a dip in the stream and I feel so much better now. I just can't believe how hot it is out here. It's like between 1 and 4, it's like blazing hot. You know, there's no clouds or anything. But that's okay. That's what these ice cold streams are for. Anywho, I'll show you the stream over here. This is Moose Creek. Alright, we're all packed up. We're getting ready to head out. Had Heading out on the Moose Creek Trail, the last like mile and a half of it. Head up with the North Sun Fork, or the North Fork of the Sun River. Start heading back to the trailhead. Then hiking through this forest of flowers. This old burn. Is it a burn or a disease? Can't tell which it is. Alright, we've hit our trail junction. Trail 261 we're taking south. It runs for about 4 miles. The name of this trail is Moose Furman. On the map, the trails just have numbers, but the signs actually give them names. It's beautiful walking through all these flowers though. Well, we've made it down to North Fork of the Sun River. Smoke still lingers. Don't assume that's going to change anytime soon. And on we press. So the day started out hiking through thick forest, through flower covered burn, and for the last 2 hours I've been hiking through river bottom meadows. Wonder what's next. It's a very diverse landscape here at the Bob Marshall. I like it. So I decided to stop tonight. I sat down, looked at the map. Looks like I did about 11 miles, 11 and a half. This is the South Fork of the Sun River. I'm camped. Way over here. I don't know if you can see up there's my tarp. Another really nice spot right here with these 2 tents. You can only see one of them. Took up this entire area. They've got a bear bag hung. On this end and on this end. Anywho, chill out here for tonight. Then tomorrow I'll either head out. It's only like 10 miles out. Unless I find a really, really cool camping spot. Anywho, I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, I got up super early today. I actually packed up in the dark. I headed to the trailhead. It's about 10 miles from where I started, 10 and a half, something like that. I wanted to get on the trail before it got too ungodly hot. I should be to get to the trailhead around noon, I'm guessing. I woke up around 4:15. And left camp around 5:30, 5:45, something like that. Just following the South Fork of the Sun River, basically back to the trailhead. Here's the river valley. According to the map, there's an airstrip around here somewhere. I know there's one on the coming in on the Benchmark Road, but I don't know. The sun's not even completely up. Yeah, I guess it is behind that cloud there. Anyway, I'll see you down the trail. Well, another scenery change that I haven't seen yet is I've been walking through these groves of aspen, I believe they are. This is actually a small grove compared to what I have been walking through. If they're not aspen, I'm sure someone will let me know. So I'm getting off of the South Sun Fork Trail, and I'm gonna take this this trail over here. It's actually called the South Sun Fork Low Water Trail. I was kind of hoping not to get my feet wet today, but this is going to save me about 2 3/4 mile. So about an hour. It'll save me about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Look, blueberries. I've seen some on the way in too. I don't know if these are ripe enough yet. I'll take a check though. So far, I've had raspberries, I've had huckleberries, and dark currants. When I was picking raspberries the other day, an old timer with his niece and her fiance stopped and talked to me, and they showed me what the huckleberries look like. They are delicious, I'll tell you that. We're not quite back up with the main trail, but when we came in, that's the valley we went up. And then we went around. We came down through there. And then get around this tree. And this is the valley we're heading out on. Alright, we've met back up with the main trailhead. Or not trailhead, the main trail. The South Sun Fork Trail. That's what we came in on. We've got about 3.5 miles to trailhead. Well, I'm basically back at the trailhead. Got about 1/4 mile to go with that. All in all, it was a great hike. I'll have to sit down and do the math. I think it's like 55 miles I did. Very diverse area. You got your alpines, your aspen, your meadows, just a little bit of everything. I'm a little disappointed I didn't see much wildlife. Tons of grouse, hummingbirds and such. No elk. Very disappointed I didn't see any moose, since I hiked about between 18 and 20 miles on trails named after moose. I'm really surprised I didn't see any bear. I read an article somewhere that Bob Marshall has the highest concentration of grizzly bears in the lower 48. But anywho, I'll get back to trailhead. See you guys on the next one.